So, the idea that anyone becomes a billionaire purely through hard work collapses when you examine how large fortunes actually form. Studies by Oxfam, Piketty, and the Federal Reserve show that most billionaire wealth comes from inheritance, monopoly power, political favoritism, or control of assets created by historical extraction rather than from labor alone. And those assets themselves trace back to systems like Atlantic chattel slavery, 1619 through 1865, colonial land seizure, and racialized labor regimes that transferred wealth upward through laws such as slave codes, the Fugitive Slave Acts, Jim Crow property restrictions, and racially exclusive policies like the Homestead Acts and redlining, which built white intergenerational wealth while excluding black people. When you look at modern cases, this pattern continues in different ways. European families who accumulated capital through colonialism or apartheid era South Africa, example mining and land systems built on racial labor controls like the 1913 Natives Land Act. Middle Eastern oil dynasties enriched through imperial boundary making and Western concessions, and U.S. elites who leveraged inherited capital, state subsidies, and deregulation, from Reagan-era tax cuts to monopoly-friendly antitrust rollbacks. Show that massive fortunes grow out of political power over people and resources, not just personal effort. In that sense, whether the origin is slavery, colonial extraction, apartheid labor systems, or inherited capital amplified by modern laws favoring capital over labor, billionaires are not products of merit alone, but of historical and legal structures that concentrated wealth upward across generations, making self-made at that scale more myth than reality. It's your boy. I feel like a lot of problems in the black community is because we don't know how to talk to each other. Funnel grave. A lot of shit can be fixed with simple communication that a lot of black men or black women or just black people in general don't want to do. Or they can't articulate their points past words that they don't want to hear. You get what I'm saying? So when they hear certain things, it pisses them off to the point where they can't articulate their way out of it or past it. But I think that's because of a lack of education and a lack of reading. A lot of black people just lack the communication skills to be good at it, you know? Like, you're not mad at all them questions. You mad because you can't articulate yourself past a word or a question you just didn't want to hear. That's what it is. So since I keep seeing immigrants trying to pile into Black American History Month, it needs to be said clearly that Black History Month was created to honor Black Americans whose identity was forged through U.S. chattel slavery and American law. Now, let's get into the truth. Beginning with Carter G. Woodson's Negro History Week in 1926 and federally recognized in 1976. Rooted in slave codes, the 13th through 15th Amendments, Black codes, Jim Crow segregation, Plessy versus Ferguson, 1896, and redlining by the FHA and the HOLC, and victories like Brown versus Board of Education, 1954, the Civil Rights Act, 1964, and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And it exists for a people who are not immigrants, but a native-born population created inside the United States through forced labor, breeding, and racial classification. Most African nations do not even use black as a legal category because African identity is assumed, and people are classified by ethnicity or nationality like Yoruba, Akan, Kikuyu, Wolof, etc., etc. Trinidad and Tobago has no official black racial category, and Brazil uses color-based census terms like Preto, Pardo, Bronco, rather than a single U.S.-style black race, proving that black as a race is largely a Western construct tied to slavery and apartheid. While African heritage is marked through Africa Day, May 25th, and national independence observances, not February. Each immigrant group already have their own Heritage Month. Caribbean American Heritage Month is in June. Asian American Heritage Month and Pacific Islander Heritage Month is in May. And Hispanic Heritage Month from September to October. So, if you are a stupid ass black Puerto Rican or some stupid ass shit, your recognition is during Hispanic Heritage Month. If you are a stupid ass black Caribbean or some other stupid ass shit, your recognition is during Caribbean Heritage Month. And those who arrived after black Americans fought and bled for civil rights entered under a post-Jim Crow legal order. Created by black struggle, and were not subjected to segregation, poll taxes, literacy tests, sundown towns, or whites-only schools and housings. And if race is defined by lineage rather than birthplace, then two African parents cannot produce a black American child, because black American identity is specifically descended from U.S. chattel slavery. And I know exactly what you finna say. In my country, we go through this. In my country, we go through that. Listen, shut the fuck up. Whatever you go through in your countries is directly stolen from what black Americans go through and have gone through daily. From oppression to extraction in the Middle East to Nazi fucking Germany. Everything is copied from our oppression. A lineage many outsiders distance themselves from when it is stigmatized. But symbolically attached to when it has cultural value. So collapsing immigrants into Black History Month erases a legally distinct people and turns specific Black American advancements into something diluted and co-opted. So if you want to be black in America, you should probably enforce it in your country instead of allowing racism and erasure, because we already have a fight for ours here. Go stand for something there instead of running away like a fucking bitch. It's your boy. Hey man, the new rappers these days fucking suck. I haven't heard a single Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump elite diss bar yet. Fun them great. Pedophile diss elite bar yet. Fun them great. What's going on, folks? Back in my day, a nigga would have dropped a diss tape on all of them niggas. I'm talking about a mixtape. Different song titles. Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein. Why are the pedophiles still getting away with this? Shit like that. Fun and grave, I swear to God. So, framing ICE or modern immigration enforcement as equivalent to the KKK or slave patrol shows a lack of historical understanding. Because those institutions were created for very, very specific purposes. The KKK emerged after the Civil War as a white supremacist terrorist organization enforcing black codes and later Jim Crow laws, and slave patrols were legally mandated under statutes like the South Carolina Negro Act of 1740 to hunt, punish, and control enslaved black people as property, while modern immigration enforcement operates through civil administrative law, rather than a system designed to permanently strip one racial group of humanity and citizenship. Collapsing these distinct histories into the same category erases the uniquely targeted legal regime used against black Americans through black codes, Jim Crow, redlining, and terror groups like the KKK. And it is especially disrespectful because immigrant populations have repeatedly been positioned as tools within anti-black systems. From the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 and racially tiered labor markets to post-1965 immigration policies that reshaped urban labor competition without a consistent historical record of mass solidarity with black civil rights struggles beyond small numbers or mixed heritage participation. This entitlement to appropriate black historical trauma while ignoring how immigration policy, labor stratification, and racial hierarchy have often functioned to benefit non-black groups at black expenses, reflects both a misunderstanding of history and a continuation of the same structures that have subordinated black Americans since slavery. It's your boy. Nobody on earth can be Future in the verses. T.I. sweeps 50 Cent in the verses. I don't give a fuck if he used to be a rat. What else is going on in hip-hop right now? J. Cole fucking sucks. I listened to that fucking album when I was asleep by track 2. And then when I woke back up, I tried to give it another listen. And I realized that I was 40 minutes in and I was only on song number 4. And I realized, like, nah, I probably shouldn't be listening to this shit. I'm bored than a bitch out of my mind. And I'm not trying to hear none of that, oh, you gotta get in the right scenery bullshit. Good music is good music on the first listen. I don't need to grow with it. I don't need to age with it. None of that shit. That's not how that works. Okay music is how that works. You know what I mean? Good music is good on the first listen. Wait, I need to hear that again. What did you just say? That type shit. We gotta bring that back. Too many niggas is trying to be motherfucking, oh, it's gonna grow on you. No, it's not, Funum. It's not. I didn't like it the first time. I'm never gonna like that shit. Hey, artists like Destroy Lonely and Ken Carson, I want y'all to know that y'all aren't innovative. Y'all actually are destroying a genre that you're in. You're actually destroying the genre that you're in. Funum great. Because rap was heading upwards, right? From Tupac to Eminem to 50 Cent to T.I. to all of them niggas to Lil Wayne, etc., 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 right? Now we got people like Destroy Lonely, Ken Carson, Playboy Cardi. I don't know too many of these new niggas. Skywater, and what's the other one? Diamond and Tizo. I like Tizo though. Rest of them niggas ass. I don't understand how the fuck are you calling yourself innovative when you're ruining the genre that you're in. You're not innovative. You're destructive. Hey man, I've been trying to figure out how the fuck do people smoke so much fucking weed, bro. This should be confusing the fuck out of me. Like, it still take me about 2 days to finish an eighth. And I know motherfuckers that'll smoke an eighth in one blunt. Maybe 2. Like, what the fuck? And then they'll call smoking 2 blunts out the eighth, stretching it. Bro, what? What the fuck are we doing? What's going on, fuck? Like, I'm a competitive nigga, right? So it's always either led me to really good places or really bad places, right? Like, when I was a young nigga, I never liked liquor. But when niggas start hitting you with that, you can't drink like me, or you can't even hang with us, you don't drink. Shit like that, bitch, I drink now? What the fuck we talking about? I drink more than you, bitch. I'm a fish when I'm around your bitch ass. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a competitive nigga, and you're not finna out nothing me. I don't give no fuck what it is. You, nigga thought he had more designer drip than me. I had to show him I got 4 different closets of different types of clothes. You know what I'm saying? We different types of niggas. You dig? So, like, I don't really try to flex until it's a competition. You know what I'm saying? Once you make it a competition, I'm going to show you that you can't fuck with me or nothing. You can't spit further than your boy. You know what I'm saying? So, I've always, like, tried to, like, do more, right? To accommodate my competitiveness, right? So, when niggas start smoking heavy, that's the only thing I couldn't, like, do more of to catch up with. You know what I'm saying? And not, like, damn near kill myself. I don't understand. Like, at a certain point, I'll be so high that I can't even smoke no more or get no higher. I'm just going to sleep. I can't even touch this blunt, because if I touch this blunt, I'm sleeping. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no fucking sense. How are y'all smoking that much fucking weed? Y'all just going to sleep? Like, what the fuck? Hey, you want to know something funny? Or something that I found funny? All of these motherfucking Pacific Islanders and Latin motherfuckers and Haitians and whatever the fuck, all of you motherfuckers used to act Jamaican in high school. So don't act like you love your culture now. I remember vividly. Some of my Haitian partners, as we speak, used to act Jamaican. Front and grade.